Okay, Biscuit, when in doubt, there's always a better choice. The way you choose a better choice is by always choosing the cheaper one.
I usually don't go out. When I lived alone, maybe 80% of my weekends were spent indoors. During the summer, that's over 90% because I hate the heat. But with Biscuit and Toast here, I started spending more time outdoors because going out is part of teaching them about the real world. And those weekends happen to be the hottest times of the year.
It's already been a week since Toast and Biscuit adjusted to this place, and they've become familiar and comfortable. Maybe a little bit too comfortable.
Biscuit has already picked up a lot. He learned to turn the doorknob. He also learned some basic table etiquette and learned how to eat properly instead of burning his head into the bowl.
Oh God. Okay, don't move. Breathe. Okay, don't move. Breathe.
He also learned how to turn on the TV, switch to the channel that he likes, and become a couch potato. He seemed very familiar with that pose, and I'm pretty sure he didn't get that from me.
Biscuit, could you move your feet up? Some people might get offended.
And with Toast, he's also another big bundle of energy. But before I could start anything with him, I tried getting him potty trained. It was already causing a huge headache.
Okay, so first it says put the treat next to the tissue. Okay, and then it says say something so that it can recognize the P on the tissue. P. Toast, P here. P.
I'm pretty sure Toast understands what we want, but I think he just does this intentionally to get us irritated. But it's hard to imagine Toast being that sly with those smiles.
Anyway, the duo are making the best out of this apartment. Unfortunately, as Biscuit and Toast gets more comfortable, this studio is going to get more messy. At this rate, this apartment is going to be unlivable. That's why we've got to channel their energy out into the open. Biscuit, did you pack everything? It's going to be really hot today, so make sure you pack your water bottle as well. Yeah, put some sunblock on Toast. Not just on the butt, but also on the back.
Biscuit is going to thank me for his good skin in the future. Like I mentioned earlier, I prefer to stay indoors. I like to keep things dark, nice, and cool. If it weren't for these kids, I would have stayed inside the whole day. But weekends are not all about me anymore. Biscuit and Toast are also here. Biscuit and Toast are like the opposite. They want to go out, even if the summer heat reaches up to 100 degrees. And that makes sense. Without these outdoor explorations, they won't be learning. Before we got started, I tied a rope between Toast and Biscuit so that they don't split and get lost. This is not going overboard. We're talking about walking through Herald Square during broad daylight. The kids could get lost amongst the tourists. Okay, so first, I told Biscuit that he must walk on the right side of the sidewalk. The only time he should walk on the left is when he tries to overtake a tourist. Second, I taught Biscuit about the traffic light, which might not be very useful in New York because most pedestrians here just jaywalks. But I told him not to do that. Better safe than take the risk. And finally, I got Biscuit to memorize our home address. In case they got lost in the future, I told him to look for the Empire State Building, walk towards the building one street at a time, and then look for a familiar neighborhood. Another way is to take the subway. Manhattan has a pretty good subway network. Most people I know use it as their main mode of commute. Learning to ride the subway is going to be very important.
Okay, Biscuit, the easiest way to think about this is that there are only two directions that the train can go, uptown and downtown. Which directions? Good, okay. So hypothetically, if we're at uptown and we want to go down home, which train direction do we need to take? No, think about it again. If we're at uptown and we want to go down home, which train direction do we need to take? No. Yes, but do you understand why? Think about it this way. We have a line, okay, we have a 2D line, and we have point A.
Using 2D graphs to explain about the New York subway says more about my poor teaching skills than Biscuit's comprehension. Biscuit is smart. He quickly picked up how to read the subway map and figured out how to reach from one station to another. Biscuit was getting the hang of it. I think that was enough for me to untie the ropes and keep going with our day.
Okay, so the main plan for today is come here to Hudson Yards. I did not realize that there were so many tourists here. There's the vessel right behind me, and there's also the entrance to Highline right behind. But we're not here for those. We're here to pick up Biscuit and Toast clothes and shoes. They need the basics to get started, so we are here to do just that. Okay, kids, let's go buy some clothes.
Hudson Yards is perhaps the more touristy part of the city. There's a huge big vessel over in the front and lots of recognizable brands lined up inside the mall. It's a convenient stop in many tour packages. But for a New York resident like me, I would only go into Hudson Yards to grab a coffee on my walk back home. That's pretty much it. But we went into my favorite clothes shop. I come here to buy exactly the same shirt every 3 months. Their signature black shirt. It's my favorite. I wear nothing else. That day I picked up my 2 black shirts, adding to my collection of 10. Biscuit could use a little more color to his clothes. I think he likes shirts that the mannequins are wearing. Or he wasn't focusing on the clothes at all.
Breakfast focus on the clothes, not on the mannequin.
And with Toast, he's just cute with whatever you put on it.
Okay, so Biscuit, try this one. I think this looks good on you. Wanna try this? Oh, this one? Oh, this looks good on you too. Which one do you want to get? No, you can't buy both. You can only choose one. Okay, so this one, okay? Wanna get this one?
We shouldn't always give everything that the kids want. If Biscuit's gonna survive this world, he better learn early not everything's gonna go in his way. And please, I'm not saying this because I don't have enough cash to buy 2 shirts. I'm not Scrooge. After getting the clothes, we headed over to get some shoes. And this time, Biscuit got better with shopping. He started trying on the shoes, walking and sidestepping a little, and checking himself out in the mirror.
Biscuit, focus on your shoes, not on yourself.
Biscuit doesn't have long toes or soles like humans. To keep the shoes on, Biscuit needs shoes that fit right around his ankle and don't slip off. Nike and New Balance had shoes for toddlers that fit Biscuit just fine. Again, Biscuit was back at choosing between 2 options. I wasn't gonna give him both.
So they both fit well? No, you gotta choose one. We're not gonna come back again. No, we're not gonna come back. We're gonna pick one and go. Okay, Biscuit, when in doubt, there's always a better choice. The way you choose a better choice is by always choosing the cheaper one.
There was an $80 difference, yes I admit. I may have been a little biased in my suggestion, but when 2 things seem the same, you wouldn't advise your kids to buy the more expensive one either. Okay, with that, we finished our first shopping together. We got the shoes and clothes. It was my welcoming gifts, and my reward to them for being great listeners. The attitude could have been worse, and that could have made my teaching so much harder. Learning about the traffic light or which side to walk on aren't necessarily the most interesting topics, especially under super hot weather over 100 degrees. There was a lot of walking, yet these kids went along and survived through my plan and learned. They deserved a good treat, and I'm more confident that they can get around New York without too much problem. At least in the near future.
Toast, what is it? Toast, do you want some with that? Okay, Biscuit, you want some as well? Okay, share it with your brother. Biscuit, I'm seeing this. For every bite Toast gets, you're taking 3. That's not fair. Take turns. Or else you guys are not gonna get boba next time. Good. Take turns.